exactly how we got together. We were thinking like, oh, man, I wish we could do this. I wish I had a way to do this. What's up, man?
Sorry to break the train of thought. What's up, fellas?
Oh, you good, man?
No, that's fine.
Come up.
It came out of like, man, this is just the start of some of the things we want to do in our future as well, right? Like other things we want to do, like that just maybe don't exist at this moment.
Yeah, hopefully BONFIRE is just step one. That's our first stepping stone, and we have plenty of concrete to lay new foundation, right? So.
Right. Well, just for the record, be careful of that next step, because there's going to be a next step. I'm pretty sure, because it's kind of gets under your skin and it gets itchy, and the next thing you know, you're all caught up in it.
And we're in no hurry. We're in no hurry. We want to keep building, and we want to keep making the fire bigger, right? BONFIRE. Cool. We want an entire platform, but built on TitanX. So that's the goal, and we'll just take it day by day, but we're not in a hurry. We're going to make sure BONFIRE has a good foundation before we start to expand.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, Smooth, welcome to the stream. That's great that you popped in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to actually, since we have some chatter in the stream right now, I wanted to throw out, we will be giving away an NFT today, courtesy of Helios and Stacks. So we're gonna talk about some BONFIRE, around the fire, if you will, and we'll probably throw out a trivia question, and then this one's gonna be tricky. It's gonna take some work. We got some savvy people, so I had a mission, but either way, that'll come up, and then we'll announce the winner at the end. But I wanted to give a shout out to Helios and Stacks for offering that for this stream. Really appreciate it, guys.
Yes.
But on that
one
note,
quick thing. Or go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say. Go.
You.
Me. All right. It's. I noticed everybody's got on sweatshirts or jackets, and we gathered around the BONFIRE. And on Twitter, it's hashtag BONFIRE Nights. That's like a thing. It just all lines up, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I think it's a great name. I mean, it is a great name, because I'm sure there's a lot of people in the world that can just reflect on memories sitting around a fire,
certainly,
and then waking up and realizing the fire's out.
The little smolder.
Yeah, but that's really awesome. And you two came together through TitanX, and let's just dive a little deeper. We'll start with you, J-Class. J-Class, what was what from when you were young? Like, were you always interested in gadgets and technology? Was it
certainly
a combination of things? And
my grandpa was a hillbilly from Kentucky, and my dad is a mechanic. So, yeah, I've been in. I work with my hands in the dirt, in the woods. That's my zen place.
Dude, they must think you're fucking nuts. Like when you start talking about crypto.
Oh man, yeah. Like this homeless guy is in my way, rambling about some kind of crypto.
I love that.
Right. If you listen, you might have been a millionaire. You never know.
You never know, dude. Just keep.
If you've been watching him, you know that he probably doesn't have a home, because he's always on. He's always on X, yeah, and he probably really is sleeping around the BONFIRE at this point.
What about you, Rich? I mean, what was your tale then? Were you born and raised in the same town, type of thing, or did you get out and about when you were young? And
yeah, I've always lived in the same state. My family. When I say family, my bigger family. Cousins, uncles, dad, grandfather, we all kind of had some farming stuff going on. I've been in the fields cutting cabbage with a knife back in the day, right? And I learned at that point that I needed to find a way to get inside and air conditioning. And so from there, it's just taken into I've been in banking years ago. Got out of that as soon as I could, and then I got into technology at a larger company, and it's just kind of grown from there. Just and the thing that works for me is, and I kind of mentioned some of this before we got in here, is it's been a lot of what drives me is fixing things, like thinking through. There's a problem. How can I get it solved? And then that's why it's been such a good program with us, because we've had developers that we can kind of go to and say, hey, this is what I'm trying to solve, and they go in there and they kind of help us figure it out. I can't code worth a flip, but those guys can. But we can talk it through, and they can produce it. So it's kind of fun.
Interesting, cool. All right, well,
so
awesome.
you guys were OG TitanXers too. I mean, I've seen you guys in the community for so long. I think it's really neat that like we're seeing people that have like this real strong conviction in TitanX just come together through TitanX. I mean, otherwise, like we wouldn't all know each other. Like we live in different parts of the world. Like we live in different states. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's amazing. So you guys were day oneers, or what got you into TitanX?
Either one or two. Either day one or two. I can't remember. I could go back on my wallet and really look, but I ain't that concerned about it.
So,
but yeah, I just found it on Twitter and dug into it and was like, all right, yeah, let's go. And then it just kept on going, getting bigger, and the community stronger. And it's just a place to be for me.
Yeah, for me it was I've always liked trading. Back in the day, I did stocks. I've done try to do micro stuff. I've done Forex. And I've always had this kind of entrepreneurial thing. I've actually owned a couple of companies. I actually own another company now. Actually, believe it or not, and we don't stream much, but I own a live streaming company that does streaming for football and basketball and baseball. So,
nice.
So that's fun. But so I've always had that entrepreneurial type thing. And honestly, there's a guy that I follow. He's pretty big in the community, has a lot of TitanX in his wallet. And I just happened to see a tweet about TitanX. Actually, I saw something about Hex first, and I went to go look at Hex, and I saw this tweet by him, and he was saying, he's been in both. And so to answer your question the long way, I didn't make it day one because all this stuff was brand new to me. I had to go through it and do all my stuff. I didn't even know what a white paper was at that point, right? But when I read the white paper, I can tell you the moment that it made sense. And I said this on another stream the other day. The moment it made sense was seeing the supply curve going down on the TitanX white paper. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it was like, okay, I'm good. I don't even think about it anymore. I mean, there early days, I didn't know what the heck I was talking about, maybe on tweets. So if I did something stupid, it's because I said I didn't know what the heck I was talking about. But anyway, I learned a lot, and that's because the community helped me, right?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of crypto too. It's like, I mean, what's really captivated me is the learning experience of learning something new every day. I mean, I learned something new every single day, no matter what day of the week. There's just always more to dive into, and TitanX has given me personally a really good opportunity. And now we're seeing all these projects launch with extremely innovative tokenomics, etc. I've always been a tokenomics guy, but seeing the stuff that's on here has been all next level.
Yep. Innovation on innovation.
That's it, man.
And we're gonna bring Omni-chain, and then everybody's gonna really get excited. And that's when the party starts for TitanX. That's when the party really starts.
Hey, Dude is saying, hey, Dude was a big part of my growth as well. He doesn't know it maybe, but he and I have done some back page DMs before, and he really kind of helped me think through some stuff. And then
Dude's been here since the beginning. He's one of the OG builders. So,
and that goes back to what you said earlier. They're willing to talk to you.
He laid the foundation. Yep.
I couldn't have done it without just having that conversation. It's just the small conversations with him.
Love that, man. That's great.
Got the Mo in the house. That's good. Hey, Mo.
And you can hit any of us up, and we'll respond to you.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you ask, what is it? No such thing as a stupid question, but a stupid question might get a stupid answer, right? Something like that.
Absolutely.
Like that. That's cool. And you, Smooth boy, what's cooking, man? What's cooking?
Nothing much, man. Just did a whole bunch of stuff this morning. Installed some massive shades at this lady's house. You know, she's sitting on like an 8,000 square foot house or whatever. So I was out there in the cold today. Kind of had to get my hands dirty, but you know, at the end of the day, it's always good kind of coming back on, getting the crypto dose in, and yeah, I'm just happy to be you know, pop in. It's kind of nice. I've just been popping in everybody's stream.
I love
Few
that,
days.
Yeah, we saw you with Eric. Yesterday? That was a good stream.
Yeah, I was. It was really. I thought it was a really informative stream. You know, I was just trying to keep up with what he was saying sometimes. You know, and like, I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. But at the end of the day, like, his thought process is like long-winded sometimes, so you got to follow with how that goes. So I thought it was awesome, and you know, at the end of the day, I think
it was
learned a lot.
Definitely got people excited too.
It was definitely a good stream. Definitely a good stream. So
it'd be nice if we can bridge Pulse and TitanX. Pulse Hex and TitanX together, all on the same bridge with the same farm. That could be huge. And then you put X28 into it. I mean, you're talking empire level. You know, you're not just a layer one anymore. You are an empire.
That's a really good point. Yeah, there's a huge cross community with the Pulse chain. Obviously, I feel like a lot of the guys that just love tokenomics, you know, got interested in Hex. You know, those are a lot of like the foundation for where TitanX got its roots. You know,
Right.
I think it's important to continue to culminate that. Like, yeah, there is a little bit of a back and forth where you know some of the Pulse guys don't really like TitanX or whatever, but that's fine. You know, at some point or another, they'll come around.
Right.
In my humble opinion.
Everybody can win, man. You don't always have to have a loser.
Absolutely.
Everybody can win.
Yeah, and I doubt anybody here is a maxi at all for TitanX. You know, I've got bags and other stuff, and I got some Pulse stuff, and it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yep.
I'm looking for, like you said, good tokenomics. You know, you got good tokenomics, I'm in.
When the reality hits in, man, when that burn gets to the point when it's probably around 35%, people are going to be freaking out massively.
Hold your bags, boys.
Hold your bags. Tight.
Back away from the fire.
Exactly. Speaking of, you guys want to jump into the white paper a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's let me get to that.
This white paper is wild, by the way. I had to read it I think I've read it about 4 or 5 times now. That's usually like the point that it takes for it to click.
Man,
and, you got some innovative stuff. I'm interested.
We had some issues writing it because it's like, how do you explain this?
Yeah,
and because it's easy to write. I could write a book on it, you know, with a million words, but to get the basics in a sentence or two, holy mackerel, that's hard.
Super hard. Yeah, so take it away, guys. You know, what is Bonfire? Like, what are you guys setting up to do? And I definitely have some questions in terms of maybe some speculation on game theory and stuff, but I'll save those questions for when they come up. And
we added some infographics to the white paper too to make it easier to understand when you read it. It makes it a whole lot easier. You want to take it, Rich?
I can kind of give you kind of the two big areas, just not really going through the white paper, but the two big areas are the smart burn that we've kind of that we've innovated on, which was basically depending on how the market's moving, we adjust to it, right? And we can kind of dig in a little bit further. That's one thing that we could definitely cover. And then the second part is definitely the way that we, you know, that you're able to get you're able to mint, and then all the game theories that come off of that. There's so many, it's really hard to count. I think the biggest thing that I could tell anyone if they're trying to figure out this paper, though, once you figure this part out, it helps. Every day that you mint is a separate mint, even though you're getting 8 at one time. You play it like you have 8 different mints. If you can get that part of it, you can kind of figure out everything else.
Which the new infographics we put in will explain it simple.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go. We'll start at the distribution. We can start there.
Yep. Let's go.
So the first 8 days, it's 50 million is available each day, and then after 8 days, it reduces by 1% each day, and that goes for 368 days. Once 369th day comes, the distribution fund is from the recycle pool, and that supply is capped, and it's roughly 5.22 billion. So that's going to be our max supply. And after day 369, the rest of the mining is funded from the recycle pool that we've set aside. And the recycle pool is comes from the buy and burn. So instead of burning the tokens, we buy them off the market and set them to the side. And it locks them for up until day 369, and then we release them at a rate of 4% each day. So that's what our distribution looks like. Almost a 45-degree angle. Got a little belly in it. But yeah, so we got that. You can scroll down. So the mining works is you buy a miner, and you're going to buy one miner, and the miner produces hash power. We call the hash power smart burn power, which is SBP. That's what we call it. The mining power, your miner decreases 12.5% each day. So over the course of the 8 days, it reduces by 12.5% each day. So on day 9, your miner has zero power, and if you'll have to start a new miner if you want to keep going, or you can leave your tokens unclaimed, invest, and you can get bonus rewards. And investing's coming up on the next page, but yeah, that's your miner. That is just a straight line. But on day 2 and day 3, you're still mining. You're just losing. Your miner's just deteriorating.
Interesting. So
yeah, go ahead.
You're purchasing this hash power, right? And then you're using that hash power to mine BFX.
Yep.
Correct. And the miners are set up as 8-day miners, so you're going to be getting more tokens as the days go on. And this is, I know that we haven't covered this, but this is coupled with a vesting period where, say, if you claim early, well, all you can get is just the mine tokens up until, say, day 6, and then minus a vesting forfeit, right?
Pretty
And
much, yep.
Forfeited tokens go back to reward the longer term people that do not claim their tokens.
Correct.
Right.
So the theory is that you want people to mine and not claim their tokens so that they can get a bigger share, like more tokens just for starting miners. So theoretically, most of the supply won't even hit the market if most people believe in it in a long term. Like, you want to keep as much supply off the market as possible. Am I following the right kind of thinking pattern?
To an extent, in order for people to want to hold and invest, you're going to want people to claim early as well. And that's part of the game theory is as arbitrage happens, there's going to be points where some people are going to want to claim early so that they can compound, where others don't necessarily want to compound. They'll just sit and invest for rewards while other people play the compound game. So no matter which game you play, you're rewarding the other participants to an extent. So I like to say almost no action causes a loser. You know, if you're a whale and you want to claim early to go make a bag, then you're paying 8% of your bag to all the people that don't want to play that game. So they win by you winning. That's the theory behind it. That was our goal.
And so this is what keeps me up at night, is thinking through the game theory. Actually, we had this chat in our team chat that we were dealing with, and I started. If you start thinking, okay, what would induce someone to claim early? Fear is one, right? That's always present. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to claim it. But price going up is going to make you want to claim, right? Like if oh wow, well, which is great because now that person may claim, but he's given up 8% of his bag, 7% of his bag, 6% of his bag, so it's going to the other people. It's like a tax until you get to that ninth day when it goes to zero. So if it's going up, if price is going up, people are going to claim, and if it's and if you look at it that way, it's really interesting from the point of view of kind of how it's almost cyclical. If anyway, that if you
So
just start thinking through that process, it really starts get your head spinning about like
the price,
what's causing people to claim and what's not causing people to claim.
if
And
the
either
price
way,
goes
there's a
up,
balance.
if price goes up and it makes people claim, then they're going to go sell on the market. That's going to drop the price, and our buy and burn multiplier is going to burn more tokens at a lesser price, which should increase the price back up, which is going to make more people mine, which is going to keep pay investors, and it is a cycle. We think it's the perpetual flame. We're going to find out, but that the eternal flame, hopefully that's what BONFIRE is going to be.
That smart burn is really sick. That's like a really great idea. I think that a lot of obviously the buy and burn is a relatively new concept that Jake brought to the space. And then, now you have a dynamic buy and burn that works with the ratio of, in this case, X28 to BONFIRE. And if the price drops, it's just going to buy up heavier. And I think that's incredibly, incredibly smart.
And it's a low float, so the buy pressure actually makes things move, right? It's not, we don't have 100 trillion, might only be 2 billion. So the buy pressure is really going to make it should make charts move up or down, and we have safety nets on both. So if it goes up, then it's naturally going to come back down, and we have a mechanism that's going to push it back up. If it goes down, we have a mechanism push up. If it goes up, we got a mechanism to push down. So it should be more stable. That's what we're looking for into the future, right? It's going to be really volatile in the beginning, but as we grow older, it's going to be more stable and less volatile. And that's another thing we wanted. We didn't want to pump and dump or it's something that's just going to pump and not have any fundamentals. We want the fundamentals to pump our project and bring values, and we'll be able to build even better in the future.
Which makes the game theory behind compounding that much stronger, right? When you're trying to create a more stable asset,
yes,
it gives a lot more incentive for people to want to recompound and create new miners and continue to feed the system.
Yes, yeah. Because it's more stable. Yes.
And I know we're kind of jumping ahead kind of into that smart burn system, but it really is like a DCA strategy. It's an automated DCA strategy. I mean, if you're at the top of the candle, you still probably want a DCA, right? But it's going to increase your input as it's going down, which is something we all try to do, right? We try to put a little bit more.
If you had no emotions, that's how you would do.
Yeah, this is an emotional DCA, if you would. It's not really a DCA because DCA would kind of be more like every time you're putting in the same amount. But anyway, it's at least spending the money at the right time, or spending the burn at the right time.
So if you scroll back up and show that, we can go over this mining schedule, and that's what really explains it. So on day one, you come in and you buy your miner, and then the day ends, and then that's when your BFX is available to be claimed as the beginning of day two. You can claim your miners at 100%, and you can claim 92%. and 8% gets forfeited to the vesting rewards pool. So that same miner on day 2 is going to be at 87.5% power, and you're going to forfeit 7%. Day 4, it's the same miner. So you see the miner just keeps deteriorating over until day 10, and it's dead. And that's when you can claim 100%, or that's when you start earning vesting rewards. So in this picture, I got on day 4, we start another miner. So on day 5, now we have 2 separate miners running. Now they merge together so the display is going to show really, it looks like you have one miner in all your powers together, right? But in reality, you have 2 miners. So when day 5's at 62.5%, your second miner's at 100%, and it follows this same schedule. So you can have miners running concurrently and just stack them. They're just going to die at different times. And we have 2 separate parts of the UI. The top section is going to be more for your newer miners that you're going to keep track of, and the bottom section, that's going to be more for your vesting rewards, and it's going to give you more data easier. Where the top one is going to be more for your miners that are either running now or maybe just a week or 2 maybe behind, and anything beyond that you'd want to go to the bottom of the web page and use that UI. And there's so much data, like we'll tell you how many users are still in the vesting pool for that day. We'll tell you the total hash power of the network, your total hash power, anything you possibly would want to know is going to be in the UI.
Interesting. Yeah, this is super interesting. This is some big brain stuff. So, can you explain to me the deterioration of the smart burn power a little bit more? I think what I'm getting caught up on is, say if at the end of the first mining day, like you're getting 5 million BFX, right? And so does that 5 million BFX essentially drip to you over those 8 days?
No, that's claimable that day.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
you'll forfeit 8% if you get it that day. You can leave that 5 million all the way through and let it let that day's miner be vesting. Okay.
Hey, can you show the other screen, and then I'll, if you don't care.
Then
keep
day
talking.
2, that same miner is going to mine a new batch. So it'd be 12.5% less
sick.
of 5 million. So that would be whatever, 4.5 million. Let's just say 4.5 million on day 2, and then you let that sit to get to the 100% vesting, right? And then you're earning rewards on that day. Then day 3, that's another 12.5% you're going to lose. So maybe you're at 4 million for that day. So really, it's, you're getting 5 million day 1, 4.5, then 4, and it's just going to keep going down till day 9. You're going to get 0, and all of those are different vesting days.
That's cool. All right.
So
I understand now.
So each one, you're gonna, once you hit your vesting day, where day 9 for that miner, you're at 100% can be claimed. You can never go under 100%, and then you can start earning rewards. And the rewards is 300% bonus on top of your 100%. And the thing is, also, is you don't lose vesting rewards. So that number can only go up. All these numbers here that you see there, the percents, they can never go down. They'll only go up. So no matter, you can vest safely without risk, right?
You have like this mining and auction kind of logic built into each other. And, there's going to be a lot of game theory just in that, because if a lot of people are participating on day 1, well, it might be better to get in on day 3 or 4, say considering, things may slow down after day one, and then start your DCA strategy. And the DCA strategy is almost built into this.
And once we get into like the second and third week, the vesting pools will really start filling up, and then you'll start to see days that there's a big vesting pool. So that's almost a bonus for getting into on that day. So it'll be easier to hit. It'll be easier to hit your 400% target because that's your cap. So if you do hit your cap, that's another thing that when you claim, you're going to be you already giving 50% of your bonus to the next 8 days worth of vesting pools. So when people claim big amounts, that's going to feed all these minnows, you could call whatever, that's still vesting, and they're going to want to go start new miners. So it's like we're almost trying to force people to claim, right?
Yeah, you want to reward like the diamond handers, the people that are going to stick around.
Yeah, you can't just sit there for forever. When you hit your 400%, you want to claim it because you can't earn any more. So why would you let it sit? Unless you just want to park it there and have it out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But really, if you're playing the game, you want to claim it and compound. Maybe take some profit off the table, but you still want to keep compounding.
And here's an example right here. So like this is today, but I can actually look ahead 8 days. I can kind of peek. And when I'm peeking, what you're going to see is, well, I don't have anything for this day. Let me find one give me a second. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm telling you the wrong thing. Basically, I know. I know today that there's 11.118 million BFX today, right? I can also, so if you're looking at the DAP today and you're thinking, should I mine today? That means there's actually a little bit more that's available in the vesting pool. So it's actually 11 plus 25. And that's not million, but who knows what size this is going to be, right? It all depends on, this has just got 2 people claiming, so it's probably not very much. But that's where it gets a little bit interesting because this is new supply. This is recycled supply. This has nothing to do with, this is just stuff that's in the, that's stored away, if you would. So,
and that number is going to get bigger over time.
Right.
It should. And then, so you'll be able to look 7 days in the future and see the size of that vesting pool.
Yeah, and we just don't have anything.
See, this one's at 0. Go slow, Rich. Some of them have days. See that one. So you'll know on day 163 that pool's already at 25,000. So by the time day 163 comes, it's liable to be 100,000. And if more people are participating, because we only have a few wallets on testnet, so if more people are participating, then we can imagine that number being pretty big. And with only 11 million being distributed for that day, if you got 1 million in a vesting pool, that's 10% of the supply, the day supply. That's not inflation. That's just rewards from already minted supply.
No, so you can see how that one went up quite a bit.
Yeah, see that one. So I would have alarm on my day set or on my calendar set. Hey, I need to check the mining pool on this day. It might be a great day to mint or start a miner.
Yeah, that one claim, I just claimed a whole bunch. And again, that's not true to what's going to happen because that was one person, 1 or 2 people holding it. But
could
as
be
people,
more, could be less, yeah.
Could be, yeah. It just depends. Like we don't know. That's kind of the fun part about the whole thing, I think.
So the amount that you can claim from vesting is based on when you start the miner.
Yes and no. And that's some of the game theory because we don't know what the vesting pool is going to be. So really, you could just start a random day, and that could be the best day.
Interesting.
Right? But the data we show you gives you a little bit of knowledge, or you could say educated guess, right? We could educate ourselves and make a good guess on what a good mining day could be, right? It just gives you more data to make a more informed decision on the current, because that day is going to change, because we're looking in history. So as things happen, that number is going to go up, or it could go up, right? So,
and if I go back a day and claim, and somebody's claiming at 98 or 97 or 95, whatever, 92%, if I go back a day, this thing could still go up.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what I was getting at. Every person, every mint's its own thing, right? And so there's 30 people on, just pick a day. On day 157, there's 30 people that are in the pool. 20 of them claim.
Let's say it like this, Rich.
3 days from now, it's going to increase this pool.
Day one's pool is still accumulating vesting rewards pool, or the pool vesting pool. That number can still go up from day one.
Interesting.
Because you could still have people vesting from day one, and when they claim, 50% of their bonus gets passed down. So depending on how much they have, that number could jump significantly.
Right.
And when I say the 50% bonus that they're giving up, that's already taken out. So you're actually getting the 300% bonus. It's really 600. We're taking 50%. So
I think the wording might be a little bit odd there. It's not. It's really there's a pool amount, right? And then there's a formula that says that basically there's a 0.5, 50%, right? Of if there's 100,000, it's going to split it into 50. 50 of it's going to get passed down, and then the other 50 is your share of it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so it just keeps passing it down.
But what I'm saying is we're not taking. We're not taking half from your 300. The half's already taken out. So you're actually getting 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's epic. Wow. Really interesting. So much game theory. I mean, there's so many different ways to play this. I just want to play it right.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. This is the really crazy thing. At the end of the day, if you are the last man standing, right? If you claim whatever that amount was that just kind of trickled down and trickled down and trickled down, it could be a large amount. Once that last man claims, that next whatever was left gets put into the next 8 days pool. So that last guy is going to could potentially have a massive amount, up to 300% more of what his is. But whatever the other side of that number is, which could actually be bigger than what he's actually getting.
So what he's saying, what he's explaining is, so what on a normal day, on a normal day when someone claims that's not the last man, his 50% goes to that day's vesting rewards. And since we have a cap on it, the last man, there might be 2,000%, but he can only get 400%. So that 1,600% that's left over, it gets spread out to the next 8 days, not that day's miner. So the next 8 days get evenly distributed of the last man's 1,600%.
It's a lot of words. It's one of these.
Yeah.
You just go out to play it to see how it works out.
Yeah. Definitely the DApp makes it like way more simplified. And
so,
there's just so many ways to play it. There's certainly like an early is better than later approach with this.
Yeah.
So if you started miners on day one, you have more opportunities to collect those rewards theoretically in a quicker fashion.
So
up to 4%.
Day 157, let's say day number one's last man claimed today, then day 158 through whatever 8 days is, 165, then hit whatever day one's last man leftover is, it gets spread out through day 158 through the next 8 days.
And nobody knows when that's going to be. So
yeah, it could be day 200 before the last man of day one claims. And if there's a lot of participation in day one, then those 8 days worth is going to be worth a lot, because on day 250, the distribution is tiny. It's not 50 million anymore. It's like 3 million. So that vesting pool for day one on day 300 could be 10 times the amount of mining distribution for that day.
And this is what J Class said earlier. This is what J Class, the protocol wins whichever way you go, right? It wins if you don't claim, and it wins if you claim. From the, price will have its own market, but as far as BFS tokens going to people, or actually holding tokens that are not out in circulation, the protocol wins quite a bit over that time, because if people are holding, great. If people are claiming, great. If people are claiming, that means the price is probably doing well,
right?
And so there's a reason they're claiming, right? And so that also is setting the other people up, because they're going to get a piece of that pie that those people claimed. And if they wait long enough and then the price might go down a little bit, might come back up. When it comes back up, they make a decision and pick a day. We don't know when it is. It's going to get spread out again. So
very interesting. Yeah. And I can assume, like, with the distribution, like the actual amount that's coming out on the market at each day, it kind of just becomes a percent of the total supply, where it's not like by the time you get into day 200, 250, etc., the daily, we'll just call it the daily inflation rate, is going to dwindle to a point where it's just like a very, very small percentage of the total supply. And people have an incentive just to stick in there so they can get more rewards, right?
That's what we're thinking, yeah. So it looks like on around day 170, it'll be 10 million for that day, and it keeps increasing 1%. So yeah, by day 165, 175, it's just 10 million a day.
Damn. This is crazy. You guys are nuts. I love it. I love it.
And here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy. I don't know how, and nobody knows how it's going to play out. But theoretically, this is kind of the crazy part. You could be on day 200, and whatever that number was, I think it could be 200, could be 2 million or whatever you said, right? 10 million. Theoretically, you could have more vesting rewards than you actually have in BFX available. I don't know if that's true.
Crazy.
Maybe that's in day 250. Maybe at some point, theoretically, your vesting reward could be bigger than the actual supply going in.
And the only way you can get your vesting rewards is if you haven't claimed that day's miner yet. So if let's say day one is the big day and it's day 300. If you claimed day one miner at any point, you're out of that pool, right? And nobody knows what day is going to be the big day. That's all and there's going to be more than one big days, right? They could all be big days. We just don't know. And that's up to the community and the participation, the market. All of that's out of our control. We just designed it to work this way. And
but if you have a deflationary token, right? It's a deflationary token. So whatever that number is, say it's 1 million left on whatever day it is, then what's happening is those people are going to go to the DApp and start minting because there's 3 million available.
Right.
And it doesn't really hurt your tokenomics because it's already just stuck in the system.
Yeah, exactly. It's already there. It's already been created.
In their rewards. Their rewards.
And we haven't even gotten to the recycled pool yet.
Yeah, this is wild.
So the rewards are already there. The rewards are somewhat pre-known. You know that there's at least this amount of rewards when I get in. they can only go up because your rewards can't go down.
Yeah, you get the guaranteed amount from the mint, and I say, that's like the auction part, right? Who knows what you're going to at the end of the day, because it depends on how many people participate. But whatever at the end of the day, you're going to get that at the end of your vesting period. If it said you're going to get 100 or not 100 million, because we don't do that much. If you're getting $1 million at the end of on day 10, I think is when it actually technically is. You're fully vested. You're going to get $1 million. You might get 1,000,001. Or you could get 1.1 million. We don't know.
Interesting. Wow, so much game theory baked in here, guys. Wow.
I'm excited, man. It was a lot of brain racking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sleepless nights, a lot of talking, a lot of discussion.
I'd hate to see the napkin sketch on this one.
Oh man, I probably got it somewhere.
I think we broke Telegram just from all the maths going on back and forth.
Cricket.
Oh, just wait until it launches, man. Everybody's going to be trying to game it and figure it out.
all the Excel. I think Excel thinks I'm their biggest user right now. Like, what is he doing? Like, he's like.
Yeah, there's just so many ways it can go. I mean, obviously, with big participation each day, like, it just, there's so many different ways you can go. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to participate. And I think this really encapsulates the idea of a fair launch too, because there's opportunities for people on, that get in early to get a, more of a guaranteed share. But, as you go on through the days, there's opportunities to get like pretty massive rewards just for participating on the right day. And nobody knows when that's going to be.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, we wanted the guy that came, day one, you should maybe get a little bit of an advantage, but
yeah, sure.
You shouldn't own the system, right? So we wanted the guy that comes in on day 300 that he just got into crypto, never heard of, he just got his first Ethereum. This is his first project, it's day 300. We want him to have a fair chance, just like everybody else. It's not his fault that he didn't know what crypto was when we launched, right? That's not fair. So
that you make a thing I gotta talk to everybody about, because this is one of the pain points I wanted to solve, and it's just the start of it, right? But one of my favorite pieces is our input tokens.
Yes,
we added USDC, and so I want to just tell people it's not much different than you going to Uniswap or whatever and just doing all that yourself. But we wanted it to be as easy as possible. And I hope that this actually kind of goes through other programs as well, of just do the work for them. Right.
Yeah.
Find a way to do the work for them, because I go back to my first days of Titan. I had no clue what I was doing. Like, how do I get Ethereum? That was my first question. Now that I have Ethereum, how does that work? And so just take the guesswork out for it. Do it for them, and be done.
I think Pulse and Hex would be a lot bigger if they were easier to onboard.
That's one of the reasons I didn't do it.
It is so hard to get into Hex or Pulse if you're new to crypto. Right. Oh man, it's not impossible, but man, after an hour, you just want to walk away and just quit crypto forever. We want to make it as simple as possible for everybody.
And there's some utility coming out we all have heard about, kind of helping some of that stuff. You got Switch doing its thing. You've got, some things that should help do some of that. And anyway, that's just a big thing on my part. That's how we're going to get adoption. That's how we get adoption. We got to make that. We got to tear down the wall and show them the way and help them just do it. Handhold them through it.
There's another way to do that too. We could maybe do a little trivia for maybe a little NFT.
Let's go. Let's get the stacks.
All right. So we're going to be due to Helios, the dude, and Stacks. They were kind enough to donate a NFT to this stream. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So it's really, really kind of hard to come up with a question with a bunch of people that can really degen. It's hard. but I'm going to just go with something here that I'll throw a twist on the end to see who's actually listening. So here's the question for the NFT, the Stacks NFT. In iOS and Safari, how many characters long are the generated passwords made of letters, numbers, hyphens, and special characters divided by 0.25?
Hold on, can you repeat that?
I'm a product owner. I don't know any of that stuff.
In iOS and Safari, how many characters long are their generated passwords made letters, numbers, hyphens, and special characters? Whatever that number is has to be divided by 0.25.
Grok is cooking right now.
And so while everybody's working on that, we'll see if we get a winner or not. But other than that, so it does sound like Bonfire is quite an interesting protocol. I was doing some sideline stuff. I might have to rewatch this, to be honest with you. I was getting some things taken care of, but it sounds really cool. And man, I can't imagine what it was like putting this together after hearing all that.
It was fun.
Thank you, man. We got a great team. We got a great team that did a lot of things that they really went out of their way for to help us out. They didn't have to do a lot of things that they did, and that's just the kind of people they are. So
Right.
we're definitely happy. We think we picked the right team. Definitely feel like we're at home with them. Definitely excited. Definitely excited, not only for Bonfire, but for the entire ecosystem, really.
Right. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I can at least share a little bit in how I can relate with your theme and your lore, everything that you got going on. Ever since I've lived here, and it's been almost 20 years, we started doing small little fires in the background, in the backyard and stuff. And then we had the kids, and they came on board. And as they started to grow, they're like, "Hey, Dad, we having a fire on Friday."
Yeah.
Fridays were tough, so it became Saturday. And there's this radio station up where I'm at. And on Saturday nights from 6 to midnight, they play like classic old country music. I mean, it's a show. And over the years, everybody wanted to come over to our place on Saturday night, sit by the bonfire and listen to crappy country. And it turned into a tradition until the kids left the house. And now it's like when they come in the summer, they want to have a fire, So it's our way of bonding, and it's where everything just kind of drifts away. It's a great thing you got going. I like it. It's gonna catch, I think. You're right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we put a lot of work into it.
I can imagine.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Just real quickly, you don't have to look at it again, but one of my favorite things on the DApp has nothing to do with functionality. It has to do with the little embers burning on the page. It's just constantly burning, which we all know about bonfires and campfires. You're constantly dodging those things.
Oh yeah.
So,
I lost many a clothing from some embers.
I love the app. I love the way it looks. I think that's an important aspect for that level of stickiness that you guys are looking to acquire. I mean, there's so much stickiness with this. You basically are creating something that people are going to want to go back and check in the morning, afternoon, and night to, figure out the best strategy. And, once the app goes live and people are interacting with it, that's when things really start to click for people, in my opinion.
Yes.
Explaining things in words and streams and stuff is really great to get a conceptual understanding. But like when the pen hits the paper and when you're actually interacting with this thing is when I think people are going to be like, "Oh, this is what it is. Yeah. Holy shit." So I want to get a bigger share of supply by doing X, Y, and Z. And it's not necessarily all about price appreciation here. What it's about is actually getting a larger percentage of supply. I think that's more of the game than anything. Obviously, price appreciation's like, the nice added bonus with the way that you have the smart burn set up. It's really brilliant, guys. I mean, hats off to you. Like, it's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I can't tell you how many times I've started with a project and got like like you're saying, you can only listen and read so much. You have to get hands on to really fully grasp it. So many projects I've done, and like 2 weeks in, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could hit the reset button and go back 2 weeks and do it this way.
Yeah.
So many times.
That's crypto for you, though. I mean, how many times have you like gotten involved with like a protocol or just a token or something? It's like, oh, what if I just sold like 3 days ago and then reinvested it into this? I could have, already hit my goal or whatever. And when it comes to building a protocol, like there's just so much crucial, like it's just so crucial to get it right when you put it out there, because there's no going back and like changing logic and everything. And
we tried to pick this thing apart, man, and we come up with something and it's like, oh, this could be a problem, and you think about it and you're like, well, no, this fixes that. Like if that happens, then this happens, and that offsets this because of this. So we've been trying to find the hole in it, and we just can't find it.
That's a good thing. I like to hear that.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten anybody point anything out. A few people had some suggestions to say, hey, did you think about maybe burning with this route or something? That's the only kind of things we've gotten, but nobody's come forward with anything warning of a potential issue, right? Everything has a safety net or a safety trig or whatever you want to call it.
You got to think through all of those things, and it's
so
important. That's what's keeping you up at night. I understand now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were literally talking about that the other day. We're like, we've gone through it, and we're actually at a point where we're really just thinking. Now we're just thinking what ifs,
Yeah.
Not bad what ifs, but like, what is participation going to be like? And I'm not saying it's just like, if day one looks like this, what does that look like? If day one looks like this, what does that look like? And what does that play like in 5 days from now? One thing I'm super excited about is I want to shout out to Dude again and the whole Element 280, which is one of the things we're burning is the Telegram is so much fun if you're in that Telegram. Sometimes it is. Sometimes price is going up, price is going down, but the fun inside of there is people talking about, yep, another guy burned, and like it's almost like people are cheering. Well, some of them are, right? Because every time somebody burns, I get more, and that's just kind of a fun. If you get in the right pool, I mean, there's all kinds of trash talking you can have, and whatever it is, all that stuff is kind of fun. You're like. And it kind of takes a little bit of the edge off when prices it goes against you a little bit. You're kind of like, well, it may have dropped 10%, but I just got 10% in, or whatever that percentage is.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
DCA is built in.
Yeah. Whatever. I just
it's cool.
So I think the chats will pick up a little bit too. And
but that's another part of the game theory you just explained is so if the price drops 10% and you're vesting and you got 20% extra bonus rewards, then did you really lose on price? Right?
Yeah, who knows?
Not at all. It's a wash.
Right. So,
and it could be 0.0005.
So much game theory.
Yeah, it's amazing. I really like the idea of the smart burn. I'm just gonna say it. I think that other protocols are gonna adopt that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I thought about doing something like that with Mizuchi, but we stuck with like a straight, percentage, and things are adjustable, etc. But the idea of using, basically that ratio game, using a higher burn percentage if the ratio drops a little bit, it's really brilliant.
I don't see a problem with doing it.
Yeah.
Just because if we're the first, that don't mean we're the only, right? Innovate on top of us, innovate with us. We can build something together. You can build on BONFIRE. You can. Man, there's so much to do.
You can see Volt in here. You can see Element 280 in here. You can see TitanX in here. You can see.
Bitcoin and Ethereum,
Bitcoin's in here with the Tash Power type stuff. I mean,
it's cool. I love that.
So
the ease of participation, I think, is another really important factor. Like you're talking about, Rich, like having those multiple input tokens. Like, yeah, the gas price to get USDC into X28 might be high, but if you did all those transactions individually, it's actually probably cheaper just that one single route that you guys, because you've already gas optimized that route through through the production phases. And
I think it might be slightly cheaper.
Yeah, right. And when we're talking about X28 to new users, first they have to conceptualize TitanX and what that is. Or first they have to back it up. They have to conceptualize getting Ethereum into their wallet. Then they can conceptualize TitanX, and then they can conceptualize X28 just to make that straight route. I think is really important for all of the X28 protocols to be bringing in.
And we're burning a crap load of TitanX on all the way, every time.
Exactly. Oh, it's a perpetual burner. That's the idea, right? It's like the liquid supply of X28 is so low. So if you have X28, great. But generally speaking, most people are going to probably participate with TitanX. A lot of people are going to participate with ETH. And if people have USDC on the side, right now we're going into a very bullish macro. Like, there's no. I personally don't have any USDC parked.
Right.
That way. But yeah, I think just the idea of making like this interoperable interface built into your front end is so fucking important. Like that can't be, I can't say that enough. Especially when we start to go omni-chain too and start taking these things to other chains. Like we want people from outside of our ecosystem to participate, and what better way to do it than make it easy.
Hey, you actually proved one of my points when you said you don't have any ETH, you don't have any USDC. But when I first started, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And guess what I had? I had USDC. Because I'm like, okay, this is the safe route. I have no clue what I'm doing, but $1 equals the same amount that I had in my bank account.
Yep.
And it's okay, and I can look at the chart. It doesn't really move much, and you're like, okay. So for me, starting out, that was a major part. I went to USDC because I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's so important to have these routes, regardless of where they're coming from. I mean, again, gas might be expensive to do that 4-way hop or 3-way hop or whatever. But, if you're going to break up those transactions into separate Uniswap transactions or CowSwap transactions, if you're going to go buy on market or whatever, however you want to do it, do the conversion to X28, like it's basically the same. And the fact is, what we're trying to do is burn TitanX. We're trying to create perpetual burners on the system. And what better way to do that than, making it easy for the user.
Right.
Cool. Well, I haven't gotten any responses on the quiz question.
I actually have an answer, but
12. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let somebody else.
I don't want to say it either. I've had it for like 20 minutes now or whatever.
I just threw a number out of the blue. That's the first time I thought of it. I have no clue.
If I need to downgrade I can go something that might be a little bit easier. But I'm not getting anything in the feed here, so the chat's not chatting. So all right, maybe I can ease it up a bit, and then we'll give the answer after I give the next question.
We got another question. You got a backup question?
Well, we can sit here. Oh, we got some response wrong.
Oh,
that's a good guess. I don't know if he guessed it or if he actually tried to figure it out, but
it's a good number.
A good start, right?
That is the number.
So I don't know. What do you guys? It's up to you guys. I'm just a bartender here.
Y'all do it, man. We're launching at noon, so when Trump swears in, we're going live. It's the Trump pump.
The Trump pump, baby.
Yeah, we're gonna light it up.
Yeah, actually, could you pull up the white paper again? I feel like there was a couple things that we didn't go through. I'd like just to make this as
not a
thorough as possible. I don't think we talked about the initial the initial LP formations, etc.
Oh, yeah, we did not.
Okay, one moment.
So the LP is pretty simple. It's we feed it with 8%. 8% that comes in goes to liquidity pairing, and at the beginning we got 500 million BFX tokens paired with 50 billion X28. So
that's a big LP. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to start with.
Yes, and 8% goes to it, and the fees created off of the LP, 50% gets reinvested, and the other 50% we just go ahead and burn, and it's on Uniswap V3. So that's another reason we went with the way that we did the tax, right? We didn't want to be a tax token.
Yeah.
Because that limits you on a lot of things. So we went ahead and did like a pre-tax, and that's kind of what led us to the system that got created, right?
So
we had to find a way to feed the pool without being a tax.
So this is going to actually burn X28 as well.
Yes,
it's going to burn.
We're going to burn 50% of the TitanX through all the input that's not X28, because we're going to transform everything to TitanX or to X28. So that's going to burn 50% of the TitanX. Then that goes through the system, and then the buy and burn does 8% X28 on top. So in theory, we're doing 58% of TitanX is getting burned.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. And the LP is added automatically?
Yes. Once we get the 50 billion X28, it automatically launches.
And the 8% is added automatically, or is that a manual?
Yes. No, that's automatic. And then that's for the first 368 days. Then after it starts reducing, or it reduces to 1%. So at 369 and on, we only add 1% to liquidity.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I just wanted to cover that. I think that's important.
Yeah, not a problem.
It's you want to cover allocations too, because we did talk about it.
Yeah, we can do allocations too.
This is your questions. I didn't want to lead the.
Yeah, no, I like, you guys are doing a bigger pool at the beginning than a lot of other tokens. And what's nice about X28 is that there's not a lot of sniping going on, right?
Yeah.
Because the routes are, like, if you try to swap just straight from ETH to X28, like Uniswap's going to be like, yeah, no.
Right.
So, there's like those sniper bots on live pairs, and the fact that we're on X28 is actually a really nice blanket for that reason. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I think that was a good way to start too, to give it a nice thick pool at the beginning, and the 8% added perpetually.
Yeah, we're gonna have we should have a solid LP.
Yeah, that's so huge. It's just being able to build LP through these facets. I mean, in other parts of crypto, this doesn't exist, right?
I know.
Now we're adding LP to our protocols organically through user participation, right? Yes. So every user that comes in, well, they're participating to help grow the protocol naturally and organically.
That's what I like, is the organic.
Yep.
Organic growth. That's the way.
That's the way, baby. So allocations.
Okay.
Yeah, allocations. So first 368 days, 84% goes to the smart burn contract, 8% to liquidity, and 8% is no expectations. So it's pretty simple. Then after, so day 369 forward, the 84 goes up to 91% to the smart burn contract, and the liquidity drops to 1%. 8% stays no expectations.
Super
simple. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, one thing we did not talk about was the recycle pool, kind of how that's.
Yeah, let's talk about it for sure.
I think that's on distribution page. Maybe. Yeah, at the bottom. So the recycle pool, yeah.
Keep going.
20% of the buy and burn is allocated funding the recycle pool during the first 368 days. So like I said earlier, the buy and burn, 20% goes to buy, but we're not going to burn these tokens. We're going to put them in the recycle pool and lock them up until day 369. And then day 369, that's when it's capped, and 50% of the buy and burn, it gets upped, gets allocated to funding the recycle pool. So, and then day 369 and beyond, 4% of the recycle pool gets ready for distribution, and that's adjustable up to 10%. So because we don't know what the future is going to be, we wanted that to be able to be adjustable.
Smart.
So we don't break anything. And really, that's the only things that we have any kind of control over is adjusting small percents. We can't turn off the buy and burn. We only change the percents. We can't turn off the recycle pool. We can only change the percents. And the only time we would ever change the percent is if something was breaking, right? If the buy and burn is too high and it's just going to break something, we're going to turn it down. If it's too low and not acting like we wanted it to, then we're going to turn it up. And the same with the recycle pool. We know how we want it to function. We just don't know the exact percents of which it needs to be set in a real world application, right? Testnet's one thing, but real world's different. So we just wanted a few things that we could adjust, but other than that, we can't do anything. Once it's launched, it's launched.
Yeah, those are hard decisions to make too. It's like you said, you don't know what the future is going to hold. So to have some adjustability is extremely important, in my opinion.
And it's one thing, if you got a short term distribution, 30 days, you might could lock it. But if it's a year, 2, 3, 5-year project, right? There's no telling what the market's going to do over that time. You just have no idea. So
not for nothing, this is set up to be a very long-term protocol.
Yes.
What you're doing is you're putting deferred sustainability in by using the buy and burn, not just to burn the tokens, but to actually make this last a really, really long time.
Yes, that was the goal. Long-term sustainability was definitely a high priority.
Yep, definitely. And is there anything else that we didn't cover? Like I know we talked about the smart burn tech.
We didn't talk about where the burn's going.
Oh yeah, I think that's what I was getting to. Yeah,
and we could talk about this part too, just real quickly.
Yeah, this is cool.
So everything's running off of. So say we'll just start. Say it does 1% just because it's easy math, right? If we set it at 1%, so what's going to happen is it's going to take 1% of what's in the pool, and it's going to divide that by 180 times because there's 180 8-minutes in a day. I don't know if that's the best way to say that. And so every 8 minutes it's going to burn that way. If the price drops, we'll just go ahead and do the big one. If the price drops 50% within 8 minutes, it's going to trigger an 8 times multiplier. So whatever that number is, I'm just going to say 100. Whatever the 1% was divided by 180 times, whatever that was, it's going to do that 8 times for that one burn. We're also stacking them, and so what I mean by that is if we're doing 1% and it doesn't make sense for somebody to click the buy and burn, just wait a couple more 8-minute turns, and you may have enough in there to make it worth your while to click it. And so it wouldn't get stuck if you go that route. So
that makes sense. So the default is 1%, and then this multiplier works on top of that.
Yeah, well, we can change that default. That's what we were saying earlier. We can change it because we're trying to be careful here.
Conservative, yeah.
Yeah, and so we can go, I think the number is between 1 and 10. That's what we can set it between, and we don't know which, our goal is hopefully much higher, but we have to be careful. We want to protect everybody participating in it, right? So,
absolutely.
Least amount is 1%. It's going to burn 1% no matter what, because we can't turn it off. And so, but at the most it's going to do is 10. But again, that's over 180 things in a day. So if you go down, unless y'all have questions, you go down. I think it has the actual what we're burning.
Yeah, it does. And there's you see right there the current multiplier. We made it trigger on testnet, so we know it works. And we had just hit it right there.
We basically rugged ourselves on testnet. Everybody sold their BFX and just to make it trigger. So their test BFX. And one thing, one funny thing that you can never. I've said this the other day. You can never have enough TitanX. I've also learned you can never have enough test TitanX either. Or because I keep running out of it. And that's the one thing that I don't know how to do that, and I have to get the guys to send me some more. So anyway,
that's funny.
So yeah, this is what's getting burned, if you will. 20% we already talked about is going to the recycle pool. 50% is going to go and buy and burn BFX. 8% is going to E280, Morpheus, and X28, all evenly. And there's reasons. We could have picked all kinds of different things, but we kind of were thinking of the community. That's the way we were thinking of it. E280, they're burning everybody's stuff, right? I mean, the way that thing's working, everybody's got something in it. So we were like, it's fine. It's about time somebody helps that group out and burn something there. So that's the way I thought of it anyway. Morpheus tied to Dragon X, that's a whole nother community there. X28, obviously, that's the obvious one. So that's just kind of what we were thinking in our heads about why we chose those particular ones. We thought it helped the community. Too. Yeah, and the amounts. We just thought it helped community.
888 got the numerology in there.
Yep. I think that's very important. Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah, this is wild. I'm really interested to see how the Smart Burn performs on this protocol because it's so dynamic, right? I mean, between the multiplier factors coupled with, the fact that you're actually burning other tokens along with BFX, really, really intuitive and smart. And I'm interested in seeing how it performs because, like I said, I think that this piece of it is something that, this does really well. I can see a lot of other protocols adopting this same kind of tech, the Smart Burn tech, which you guys have clearly coined.
Yeah, put it in history. It's going to be 12 o'clock. It's going to be Trump instated. And then 12 o'clock and 1 second, it's going to be Smart Burn Tech was coined on TitanX. Yeah,
right. Love it.
Out with the old, in with the Trump pump.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah, this is a really cool protocol. I mean, as far as the game theory baked into it, like you said, there's elements of like the auction elements. There's elements of just the idea of this like built-in DCA strategy just by playing the game. There's just so many ways to play it, and I like usually like going into protocols like I have a good idea of how I want to like participate. This one, I have no fucking clue yet.
Yeah, nobody does. I
can tell you what I can say what I'm doing. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm putting money in the first day and then trying to figure it out from there. That's as simple as that's all.
Rich gonna be the last man standing on day one. That's all.
That's it, dude.
I love it.
I'm never selling. So
yeah, it's so cool. Like hats off to you guys. I know how much work it takes to build something so intricate and all the thought that goes into it. I mean,
and you can see the quality. We did not take any shortcuts.
Yeah.
We put the sweat into it to make it something attractive, more than the eyes, but we gave you something to look at, right?
Yeah, there's a lot to look at. I mean, just going on the landing, just looking at the landing page. I mean, you can tell you didn't skimp on any part of this, and you guys have been super active on Twitter. You're doing all the right things, and this is just the beginning for TitanX in a lot of ways in our community. Yes. And this is just the beginning for you guys. And like, best of luck with your journey. to a lot more sleepless nights and worrying about shit that you can't control. Like we're here with you, Matt.
Gary's gonna be gone though, so that's one less thing we gotta worry about. Gary Gensler.
Dude. Holy shit, how bullish.
I know,
the Guzzler,
right?
He's out.
Yes. So that's one more thing, man, about building on X28 and the 50% that gets burned, the 50% TitanX burn. So any project really that builds on X28 and utilizes that transform, it gives you a lot of leeway. I explained earlier, by utilizing that, BONFIRE was able to get 130% burn rate.
Yep.
If you put in the 50% extra that the TitanX burns by transforming it into X28. So instead of being 80% buy and burn, we're 130% buy and burn, right? So instead of being a 8% X28 burn, we're a 58% TitanX burn, right? If you think of it those ways. So X28 is powerful, and it's going to do a lot for X20 or TitanX. I think, especially as more projects and bigger, better projects come after us, right? Because like you said, it's just the beginning. So somebody's going to come along and innovate on us. Then when y'all launch, somebody's going to come and innovate on y'all, and we're all going to innovate on top of what we did last, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and better. And then omni-chain, like, it's just going to be crazy, man.
It is crazy. It's truly crazy because if you think about it, right now we're still burning what $200,000 a day, roughly. TitanX. Now we have, I think the buy and
burns are full.
Right. And then we have like a handful of projects being built on X28 that's just going to amplify that to a large degree because we're offering these multiple input token options, etc. That
it's
just makes
50 trillion in no time, I think. 50 trillion, it's going to be in no time.
It's crazy.
February, who knows, man?
Where are we going to be 6 months from now? It's like unheard of.
So we have been. I've been heads down. I was telling Smooth this the other day. I've been heads down. I haven't been able to dig in as much as everybody else has. I've been focused so much on mine. It was great to go over Flare the other day.
Yeah.
When are y'all? What's your time frame? Or have you put one out there yet?
No exact time frame. Said it on the stream, like late January, early February. Right. You guys are releasing Ascendant, possible USDX, right? So there's a lot going on, and more than likely it'll be early February if I'm going to be completely honest, right? We're a couple days away from being done our second audit. It's been going great. They've really found almost nothing since the first one. We fixed everything. And it was only a few small things that we changed anyway, or fixed, I should say. So, early February, I think, is probably where we're going to be.
And what about after is it Mizuchi or Mizuki? Is it
Mizuchi?
Mizuchi.
I gotta get. We're blasting that one out probably mid-February. Yeah, there's some chi in there.
Okay, I got you now. I got you. Hey, I'm from the South. We just make it up as we go, right? We have Louisville and Louisville. They're the same thing, right?
You drink your mug with a fist, no pinky out.
Yeah.
Love it.
So y'all, February is going to be a busy month too then.
Oh yeah. And I just keep on looking at the macro and in terms of like what's going on, like politically, what's going on with the 3-letter agencies that, crypto hates. And, we've never been so set up for such a bullish environment in crypto. And, we've certainly gotten to the point in the cycle where I've had people reaching out that aren't in crypto and they're like, oh, how's that going for you? And that's sometimes is a top signal, but I think we're just headed into something that's a lot bigger than
what's going to happen. That same person that asked you how's crypto going in 10 years, that's going to be about 80% of their mutual fund, right? Their mutual fund. You might still have Tesla at number 1 and Amazon at number 2, but you're gonna have Bitcoin at number 3, Solana at number 4, or Bitcoin at number 1. Who knows? But they're gonna start mixing them. You're gonna have Microsoft with a Bitcoin option basket, whatever you want to call it. Right? They're gonna be in the same group. Bitcoin, Amazon, Tesla, Ethereum. A mutual fund, and that's what everybody's gonna have.
I bet y'all probably follow him too, but Weaponhead, he had a post earlier about he thinks governments are going to start using TitanX. They very well could.
Go.
That's Weaponhead for you, man. He's got some pretty creative ideas.
He does, man. Shout out.
You know what country it's going to be? It's going to be the island that all the TitanX people go by, and we're going to make our own country. And none of them people's invited.
I like you guys.
Hey, but Weaponhead does
think
have
outside the box.
He has some great ideas, and I'm like, yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. So
yeah, I think Weaponhead back early on in TitanX, I think he organized one of the very first poker tournaments or something.
Yeah.
And everything. That was a huge success. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I got devoured instantly. But whatever. But it was. I mean, he's really cool about doing stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, not financial advice, but follow Weaponhead. He has some great ideas about when things pop out. I probably have 10-20% of my bag I owe to him just from listening to what he said. Oh man, that's a great idea. So
yeah, dude, absolutely great dude.
It's surprising how many amazing ideas and talent has blossomed in this community. Just from out of nowhere, just some of the content that's being created. It's like what, and
from everywhere too.
Yeah, and we got a we have a Telegram page now too, to where any good content that's on basically in X, if it's really good, I'm pushing that up to Instagram now. So it's just another avenue that can gain some exposure, because we pretty much know what happened to TikTok. So, but yeah, so that's another avenue for hopefully getting some things burning.
Right, definitely. Right. You got TitanX Tube. You got all these guys putting out content. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys are around tomorrow, we're doing a weekly stream. I'm doing it with Sal from Ascendant, and it's an open X Spaces just to kind of come on and chat casually. So if you guys are available, hop in the conversation and take some time to talk about Bonfire and
all things
TitanX. So it's an open invite.
Yeah, cool. I'd love to do it. That's hey, we've put we've put this whole next 3 days. I don't have anything but Bonfire.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, there's no weekend this weekend.
I may go create. That might be the thing to do. I may go create a big old bonfire in my backyard and stream from it.
I thought about doing it tonight,
do it.
But I said I need to get some sleep, man. So maybe tomorrow night, because it's cold. I'm in South.
I have
Louisiana.
a big old brush pile. Brush pile.
Crypto Rich, man, you got to do it, dude. I mean, come on, look at what Adi Crypto King did with the bubbles stream. He just set it and forgot it, and it was
that was awesome.
Thousands of views.
Yeah, I want to get a lot of
sitting over 3K right now.
It's still running.
Still, just keep it running.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
If I can make it happen, I'll have some of that. I'll have some lighter fluid. So anytime somebody makes a really good comment, I'll just throw it on the fire and just make it blow up or something like that.
So I'm right outside of New Orleans, and I just got a notice. They already shutting schools down for next week because it's going to be so cold. They talk about snow and stuff. Yeah.
Big snow.
Yeah. It's like
when it snows in hell.
Really. They said 16 degrees on either Tuesday or Wednesday or something. Yeah, we're not built for that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are not cut out for that. Yeah.
No.
I'm south, but I'm further north. And I get a little bit more. I have snow on the ground right now, but
I could imagine.
A little bit.
That ain't nothing. Make sure you drip your pipes. You don't want to freeze your freaking pipes and have a pipe burst now.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true, man. Drip, drip. That's a good point. Yeah, it's been cold. It's been a cold winter, and I've been jokingly saying to my family for like months, it's like, man, the squirrels are getting fat as hell. Like big time. And in like almost 20 years of living here, I kept saying I've never seen them this fat. And this winter, it explains it all, man. It is cold. These guys are like all fluffed up.
Isn't that crazy how they know that stuff?
Yeah.
That is, man.
Farmers know it too, man. The whole farmer's almanac stuff. But anyway.
So Smooth, you want to say the answer at the same time just to piss everybody off?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have the answer, but it's been so long, I second guess myself now.
All right, ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 80.
It is.
Hey,
I was
Bang,
going to say
bang.
80.
y'all get to split it NFT.
What I will say as just I did it all in my brain, and then I went to the computer.
Oh, you're way
like,
smarter than me. I went
said
straight to Grok.
it's either 25 characters or 20 characters. And if it's 25, that's 100. If it's 20, it's 80. So I was like, I got both sides of it. And then I looked it up. I was like, all right, it's 20 characters. So
Eventually, I would have said 80.
Well, the first giveaway we did was an easy one. And it was like instantly like, boom, answers start flying in. And of course, the one person who came in first was, what was it, Utah? I think he came in, but we ended up passing it on. But this one was a little bit tricky because I was told I had to make it tough. Dude's like, you got to make them work for it, man.
Yeah,
so
that was a tough one.
It was crickets, man. In the chat, I was looking at it going, okay. But either way, well, I could do one more that's a little bit easier, or else we can just save it for the next session. You want to do it?
Get a chance at it, yeah.
All right. This one's going to be a little bit easier. All right. Let's see. We're going to use this one. This one's going to be a lot easier, quite honestly. All right. What virus, which spread widely in 1999, is said to have been named by its creator? Programmer David Lee Smith after an exotic Florida dancer.
Destiny.
Nope.
You know there's a Destiny exotic dancer.
I'll read it again. All right.
It's probably more than
interruption. Without interruption. What virus which spread widely in 1999 is said to have been named by its creator, programmer David Lee Smith, after an exotic dancer in Florida? Anybody got $1?
Destiny.
I got the answer. I never heard of this before. Anybody?
Guys, it's a free NFT. Come on.
I know, and it's actually a good one. And it's like it's going to grow in time, in value.
Throw it in the fire and let everybody else's grow in value.
All right. I can give a clue. You can use Google virus 1999.
Come on, chat.
No.
I'm gonna have to go log in to my other account so I can win
The
this
rabbits.
No. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, no. Close.
Oh, he said morph.
Whoa.
We're getting warmer.
Cigar.
Flare would make the most sense, right? I mean,
Wow, I thought that would be a quick, easy Google search.
I mean, I got the answer, but I'm not going to give it this time.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to log off and go to Google.
I think he's open another tab.
44 people are watching from my Twitter. Someone answer it. Jesus.
Yeah. There's 167 people in
answer
this. There are 167 in the stream right now, which is pretty good.
Man, it's for a stacks too. That's a good one.
For a stacks. I thought the first one was hard.
Ask the question one more time, Ted.
I will. What virus, which spread widely in 1999, is said to have been named by its creator, programmer David Lee Smith, after an exotic dancer in Florida? Oh my gosh. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was me talking.
Oh, okay, Rich.
Yeah,
I saw your lips
I had it
moving.
muted.
What?
I had it muted. I said I was logging into my burner account, see if I can figure this out and win some stacks.
I'm telling you guys, I was literally a split second away from actually doing that. On the 81, I was like, it's unethical. I can't.
Don't. Oh, we got a winner.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding,
All
ding.
right, cool.
Wow.
This guy's
We
an
have a
OG.
winner. All right. My driveway needs shoveling. I need you here tomorrow. No.
awesome.
Hey, tell you what.
Now it's
TitanX will win
floodgates.
1,000X. I need your just DM me, please. And we'll get everything worked out, okay? Congratulations. Compliments
Yes.
Helios and Stacks and the dude and TitanX as a whole. So congratulations.
Beautiful
Hey,
thing.
when we go live, I'm committing to we'll sponsor one of these as well with some BFX.
Love it.
That'd be great. I mean,
I don't know how much yet because I have no clue what the price is going to be. We'll figure it out.
Right. You don't want to commit 10 million? What are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, if
But,
nobody
yeah.
goes in on day one, I'll be there by myself and I'll have 50 million. And I'll give you half of it.
Epic.
That is
All
so
right,
good.
guys. Anything else that you want to bring to the table, or do you want to?
Yeah.
We can go around the table and just say goodbye and farewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless y'all want to talk about something else, but we've been going for a while, so
Yeah.
up to
Tell you
y'all.
what, we're at about an hour and 40 minutes. We got 170 people in the
That's
stream.
the
It's
chat.
good.
Keep
Good-
going
good.
or no?
Yeah, you're good footprint. And tell you what, let's work on wrapping it up. If we get sidetracked, so be it. But let's just roll. So J Class, you first, bud.
All right. We'll see y'all in 3 days when the greatest day of all time in the history of America is gonna be just crazy. Bonfire is gonna light. The world is gonna be beautiful. The TitanX community is gonna flourish. And 2025 is gonna be the best year of your life.
Love it, man. Love it.
Amen. All
Rich,
right.
any final words, my man?
It's pretty much going to be an echo of that.
Hmm.
I think we're all excited about it, right? It's really kind of, it's fun to be in this community because everybody's like-minded in this way. And it's what I mean by like-minded. It's like we actually have sense. we actually have some sort of sense
Normal.
at all. But anyway, I think like J Class said, we're still at the beginning. Whether you're doing Bonfire, whether you're doing all these other things, you're not financial advice, but the code's the code, man. The code's the code, and it is what it is. So I know it's kind of random, but that's the way I feel about the whole TitanX ecosystem. Is look at the code, look at the white papers, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Love it, man. Smooth.
And you can
Smooth,
see
man.
through my
Good
eyes
shot.
right through there. You can see right through my eyes to Bonfire. Like Superman.
Laser eyes.
Beam.
I like Crypto Rich, man. He's fun.
Your eyes are beaming. Yeah.
Your lasers.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
mean,
Museum.
I love it. Yeah.
Screenshot it.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
my final words, Flare, going in middle of its second audit right now, should be done anytime soon. We're going to find a really solid time to release in between all of the craziness that's already kind of planning on releasing soon. So overall, I'm just really excited for that. this is I think this is my third stream with Bonfire at this point, right? So you could say I'm pretty excited about it. And at the end of the day, always thanks for having me on, Ted and Rudy. It's, it's cool that I could just kind of pop in here just
always
if I have the time and stuff. So I appreciate the olive branch, and, we're going to continue to push forward. 2025 is going to be an amazing year. And TitanX is going to kill it.
And I want to echo what he said about you guys and letting us come on. Like, this is huge. We couldn't do this stuff without you guys.
Much.
Anytime, guys. Honestly, the lounge is always an open space. So, anytime that we're doing this, like, just reach out, or you don't even have to reach out. Just bombard the stream. Like, just come on.
We'll be there tomorrow too. What time was that?
That's at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. I think 4
we'll
p.m.
be there.
UTC.
I'll be there. I don't know about J class, but I'll be there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll try. I can't promise, but I'll try.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, there's one thing with the lounge though. In order to get in, you need a ticket, and that ticket is a green circle. All right. So if you do want to come on stage, if you're in the audience, the crowd, whatever, and you want to say something, by all means, this is the place to do it. You have the freedom to speak about your pride and joy with TitanX, but a green circle is required. And if it's there, you're on stage.
That's it.
Rudy, you go, man. What's this Mizuchi thing you're talking about, man? I got to get some details on this thing, man.
What's that?
This Mizuchi thing. What's
God. You don't know anything about this, right?
Yeah, right.
First time hearing about it? Yeah.
There's a buzz going around. I just heard it, I think, the other day. So,
yeah, it's really excited to get Mizuchi out there. Essentially, just a quick recap. It's a hybrid protocol utilizing hybrid NFTs. So what we're doing is like an 8-day cap supply token with an 88% buy, burn, and fuel that's designed to work perpetually and continually fuel the token through giving rewards to NFT holders, perpetual auctions that will run for a really long time, insane buy pressure on a majority lock supply. There's a lot of good things to talk about. We did a stream with Callum yesterday. If you're interested in checking that out, I would highly recommend going through our feed and finding that. In fact, I'll repost that just very shortly. There's a lot of alpha in there. There's a lot of dynamics of how this works. And it's really a culmination of everything that I've learned and Ted has learned through the TitanX ecosystem. So, yeah, just really bullish on X28, TitanX, everything that's coming out. And there's just so much opportunity for users and builders alike to build together. This is something that's really special. And don't fumble your bags, guys. Like, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sounds cool. It sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to reading the white paper. But yeah, this has been really, really great. And Rich, kind of with what you were saying, you kind of struck something with me, and J Class and Smooth and Rudy yourself. TitanX as a whole in the community, we're functioning as a corporate entity, as a sense. Realistically, in a way that is so dynamic and beautiful. It's like we all have a common goal, and that's TitanX, and the community and the founders and the builders all working together. There's a lot of synchronicity that's happening that people just really cannot even begin to grasp how complex this can be. And we're working as a single unit. We're working as a group. Be proud of that. I mean, seriously, be proud. I mean, it makes me proud. And it's comforting to know that we have it. So that's my sob story, my heart on a sleeve type of thing. But this is the lounge, and you can say whatever the fuck you want. All right. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And congratulations again to our NFT winner. That was TitanX. He'll DM me. TitanX will win 1,000X or whatever. But anyways, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen. And for all those that have tuned in, have a great weekend. Be sure to catch the stream tomorrow on X. It'll be what time? 11? Rudy?
11 a.m. Eastern Standard. It's a space that's just held by me and Sal from Ascendant. So we're doing that weekly, and it's really designed just to be a space to allow anybody from the community to step up and have a voice without necessarily having to be on camera. So we're highly encouraging participation within the community and just wanted to hear from everybody.
Awesome. All right. Well, gentlemen, we are signing out, but the fire will continue.
That's it, man.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks,
Have a great night.
everybody.